There's a lie that's been told by government as well as corporate media, but mostly by government for a century now. Okay, this lie is that your money is safe in the bank, and it's been perpetuated because for the most part that has been true. But it's not true because there really is safety. It's been true because nobody has actually ever had to pull the trigger, not at the Fed, not within our own government, not at other central banks. But here's the thing, and this is where the trust factor comes into play. They know, not just the U.S. government, but also the European Union and other Western governments across the world, and not to mention non-Western governments, they know that an economic collapse is very likely, and it's probably going to happen very soon. They know that there's recession, stagflation. There's so many moving parts in our current economic status, and they're getting ready without telling us. They're getting ready for what to do in case a repeat or even worse scenario, a repeat of what happened in 2008, 2009 comes to pass. We're talking about the financial institutions that were bailed out back then. They can't do that again. I mean, that's just not possible, not feasible. So now they are preparing for what's called a bail-in. For those who are unfamiliar, I would recommend, well, number one, listen to this video, watch this video that I'm about to play by Greg Reese over at Infowars, band.video. But also, do a little bit of research yourself. If you have, listen, I'll go ahead and throw the takeaway out there. If you have more than $250,000, the FDIC guarantee, if you have more than $250,000 in any one bank account, unless you got tons and tons of money, split it up. Okay. And I wouldn't even recommend necessarily putting it all into a bank. You can put it into other investments, put it into other types of accounts, put it into physical gold and silver at your home. I don't care. Do whatever you need to do to split it up, because if there is an economic collapse and if the banks do engage in what's called a bail-in, then your money is in jeopardy. It really legitimately is. And nobody's going to tell you this, especially not in government, but this is the truth. Let's go ahead and play this video. And again, this is about the European Central Bank, but whatever you hear from Greg Reese, assume that it can and likely will happen as well here in the United States of America. We are not immune to it. And as a matter of fact, some would say that we are arguably more vulnerable. So let's play Greg's video.
After publishing my video report on bank bail-ins, a contractor for the European Central Bank, who asked that his name be withheld for security reasons, contacted me with the following information. Shortly after the FDIC meeting that went viral, my source was assigned an urgent project related to bail-in capability for the European Central Bank, or ECB. Bail-ins is when the bank steals money directly from people's accounts, just like we saw in Cyprus in 2013. The project goal is to build a data infrastructure for the financial market infrastructures, which are the networks that allow financial transactions to take place, to report to the ECB about the capability of banks and capital markets to absorb losses and to execute bail-ins as quickly and efficiently as possible. This urgent project makes it clear that the ECB is expecting a system collapse and that they know it is uncontrollable and unforeseeable. The current security requirements do not legally compel the banks to provide information to the ECB. If a bank is insolvent, they have no incentive to tell the ECB, and so the ECB is not targeting banks directly, but rather financial intermediaries like SWIFT and large settlement houses. The purpose of this contractor's job is to provide a way for the ECB to pinpoint which banks are insolvent and where the collapse will stem from. This is being done by creating large data lakes, which an engineer can analyze and find meaning at a graphical level. How much bail-ins each bank has to execute, and how much of a loss they can take. This is evidence that the ECB is definitely planning on bail-ins as a means of surviving an imminent collapse. And when this occurs, we can expect multiple banks to close and stock markets around the world to shut down, as the banks steal as much money from the people as they deem necessary. Most of this work is being done in private, but there are pieces of information available to the public on the EU's SRB website, including operational guidance on bail-in implementation and the operational guidance on bail-in playbooks. The ECB contractor has also pointed out that the latest directives for the European Union's digital service providers states that governments shall appoint trusted bodies for internet domain registry, meaning that the government will have the sole authority on who is able to have a website, and that these new security directives allow a gaping hole for a major cyber attack, which official commentators are ignoring. Reporting for Infowars, this is Greg Reese.
Right now, a lot of people are very concerned about the future of the economy. What's happening, not even next month, what's happening today. And so there's been a lot of interest in precious metals. People ask me all the time, who do I recommend? And I do recommend multiple companies, but it's funny, I didn't intend it this way, but I did find that the companies that I recommend, some are, one is big, one is little, one is right in between. I hate even saying the little company because they do everything. It's a full service company, ourgoldguy.com. This is the company where you're going to get personal service, even though, again, whether you're transferring IRAs, getting precious metals physically sent to your door, you just want, good, strong consultation. If you have wealth or retirement that you want to protect with precious metals, you should contact Ira at ourgoldguy.com. You will actually speak to the owner of the company when you fill out a form there. So check it out, ourgoldguy.com.